businesses, it's really important that fashion businesses understand that the only way to actually sell, or the most effective, efficient way, let me place it like that, the most efficient way in this day and time is the social media, or generally, let me say, digital marketing, right? And to put a very good concept into this is that if you look at it from the onset in fashion, or what fashion is right now, it's hard for you to do more of traditional market. Maybe just about 2% of it that you would actually involve traditional marketing involved in fashion businesses, right? So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying in essence is this. Um, even now and in this time and age, right? The use of magazines and stuff like that is becoming a cake. So a lot of people are going into social media. Most of your clients are actually online. So why not use the online medium, right? And when you're talking about digital marketing, you're talking about social media, you're talking about your website, you're talking about SEO, you're talking about videos, right? But today we're going to be focusing more on social media marketing for fashion businesses. And at the end of this class, there's an advantage for fashion businesses and what you can actually do to help your brand move to the next stage. So now let's dive into it. But before I start, I would like to introduce myself. Who exactly is this guy? Right. My name is Shofu Theophilus. I'm a business strategist and a digital marketing consultant. Having worked about 6 years experience with service businesses, then now fashion businesses, and helping them strategically position their brands for digital optimization and also strategies from hiring, firing, ensuring that you have the best business automation of your brand. This is not about me. You get to know about me in the long run, right? But being the fact that uh, I am more of a strategist, right? So we come up with this entire training organized by the Kira Fashion Academy. You know, Kira Fashion Academy is the fashion young builds the next generation of fashion business owners, right? From the advanced beginner class, then to intermediate classes, and also to the business of fashion, right? So the advantage of you being part of maybe the platform or being part of the students of Curious Fashion Academy, that's why you are enjoying sessions like this, right? So get your jotters, like I said, for those who are just joining, get your jotters, get your pen, and let's rock and roll. Right. So I said it before I started the session about digital marketing, social media, and traditional marketing. Right. I would say that social media is really the new runway. That's exactly how I placed it here in my slide here. So social media is the new runway. Every brand out there is utilizing social media. Not even just every brand. Every of the audience that you are targeting are actually online. So why are you not online? Why are you not there? And if you are there, what are you doing? What can you do differently? How can you do it better? How can you attract quality people? How can you attract people that can actually pay for the value that you have? Some people are really, really good. Some people are perfect. They are very good with their bespoke couture and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they are targeting the wrong client, or the perception that people have, the competence that people have in them will not help them get to how the type of customers that the value that can actually pay for the value that they have, right? So this class is actually going to help you. And for every session, every part of this class, as advertised in the video or in the captions and stuff like that, in every session, there are tasks. In fact, there are weekend tasks that you need to actually do. So preferably for me, right, and then for Kira's Fashion Academy, right, what we do is to make sure that every of your class are actually practical things that you can actually do to solve the problem. We don't just want to teach you and give you general knowledge of what social media marketing is. No, 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 no. I'm giving you practical steps, practical things, practical realities, things that you need to actually do to help your brand move forward. Now, let's get started. So, like I said, do not hesitate to jump on board. This is time for you to jump on board with social media, right? So, now, before you can actually start anything with social media or trying to push your brand out there, the first thing to do is to identify the voice of the voice of your brand in the market, right? So, like I said here, as a fashion is highly visual, but not everyone is your ideal customer. So, if you look at brand, there are so many fashion brands out there. So many fashion brands out there, right? But the funny thing is that every fashion brands out there have their own target audience. There is fashion brand for everyone. That's the concept that I placed it. There is a fashion brand for everyone, both the rich, both the luxurious clients, both the middle class, lower class. There is a particular fashion brand for this particular person, right? I saw there was a trend recently. I saw, was it 2 days ago or maybe this one? There was a guy on Instagram that was dragging Ashlocks clothes. That just the cap is about $400 and 400,000 naira. Just a shirt is about 600,000 naira. A lot of people would not buy the product, but unfortunately, is the fact that that particular brand have their own market. Nike has its own market. Other brands, other fashion brands has their own market, right? So it's important for you to identify and target your ideal fashion audience. Now, how do you now target these people? How do you know the perfect client for your brand? You might think that you actually understand who can actually pay for the value of what you're doing or what you actually have as a fashion business, right? But unfortunately, some people don't know, right? So now I'll first create a persona, a customer persona. By persona is this. First and foremost, you need to identify your own brand. Identify your own brand. If you are going to be doing more of prom clothes, if you're going to be focusing on big spoke, if you're going to be focusing on coutures, right? If you're focusing on apparel designs, you need to actually know your own niche. First thing first. Niching down can be very, very complex to some people and say, okay, I don't want to niche down. There's so much that I can achieve with the fashion brands and stuff like that. But it's important to understand your own niche. It's important to understand your own niche, your own where your own content is. Niching down doesn't mean that you can't. I think, for instance, a particular brand that is actually focused on prom designs and even dresses, right? It doesn't mean that if somebody brings a native clothes to sew, it doesn't mean that you don't do it. You do it, right? With your strengths, what people know about this brand, what people hear this brand, what people feel about this brand, what they understand about this brand is the prom dress that we do, right? By then, you'll be able to attract more people. It gives you that mentality of how can I push my brand properly? That's number one, niching down. You need to actually niche down your brand first. What can I now, I am personally, as a business strategist, I am in the business of fashion, but I'm not sewing. I don't sew clothes. I don't sit down with the tailors. I don't sit down with the embellishers, right? I don't sit down with the beaters, right? All I just do is sit down with my laptop with strategies that can actually help the fashion brand move. So you can be in a fashion brand and not even sew. You can be in a fashion brand and just be a tutor to teach about fashion. You can be in a fashion brand and just be involved in their marketing and their branding. That's it. That's all you do. That's because that's where your strength is. I'll give you a practical example. There was a particular there was a particular lady, I think it was a YouTube video that I watched, and the lady was like, she got a job and she owns a fashion brand, and it has just been only her managing the fashion brand, maintaining everything from sewing to cutting to drafting to styling and all. But all of a sudden, she saw an open role somewhere in an organization in a fashion brand out there. And she was like, I think it's high time for me to actually look out to other fashion brands. Now, this also boils down to the part of mentorship. Sometimes we can be in the business of fashion, but not understand the business of fashion itself. You need to put yourself down for mentorship, put yourself down for training and to gain the experience. That's by the way, right? So back to this lady. This lady had to apply for the role. And now when she applied for the role, she discovered that just to style, just to draft patterns, to design clothes, the company is paying her 350,000 naira just for that. So what she's doing in her room that nobody is paying her for anything. She's doing it for another organization and they're paying her 350K. Now, she's not going to be losing anything because she's putting up what she has learned, what she has groomed herself up to. She's earning from it. Then she can now invest that money back into her business if she wants to actually start another business. I mean, focus more on her brand. But before she would focus more on her brand, she has gained experience. She has gained that knowledge already. So you can be in the business of fashion, but your strength is actually just drafting patterns. Present that strength to fashion brands and you make your money, right? Present that strength to the people. That's identifying your own niche. Now, let's say, for instance, you are focusing on prom dresses as a fashion business owner, right? You look at prom dresses. Prom dresses happen to be like, oh, some graduates, students, or even young people, Gen Zs, right? Those are people that go for evening and prom dresses, right? So if you put them in that kind of age group of, let's say, 25 to about 30, or let me say 30, 35, right? Then you also come up with their style preference. They want coutures, they want freshly designed clothes, they want to look nice, they want to look good, they want to look attractive, right? They want to also look luxurious, right? So it means that if you are going to be focusing on those kind of perspective of clients, then your brand should be preaching luxury brand. Your brand identity should be preaching luxury brand rather, right? So now, if you put all these characteristics, that age group, for instance, that age group of your target audience is at the age group of Gen Zs, right? Let's say 25 or 18 plus to about, let me say 35, right? If that is your target audience, that's the age group of your target audience. Gen Zs at that kind of age range are usually on social media. Now imagine somebody who is someone that is that focuses on prom dresses, that need prom dresses and stuff like that, or let's say a fashion brand that's into prom dresses, and you're running billboards out there. Like, they're just literally targeting the wrong people. Because Nigerians don't even do prom dresses, right? So you have more international. That means your own area of focus, your target audience, their location is actually international clients. Their age group, it means with that age group, 25 to about 35 upward, then you are looking at people who are going to be on social media like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, right? So now, with that kind of identification of your target audience, of your own audience, right? You've understand that, okay, let's say you put all those characteristics, luxury, um, the target, the age range, the demography. Demography is that the person is not in Nigeria or probably in outside the country, or they stays in the international clients, right? Let me just put the demography into international clients. Then the age range into 25 or 25 to about 35 thereabout, right? You now put those characteristics into one person and you name that person, let me say you name that person Julius, right? You see, Julius is at the age range of 25, and Julius stays in the UK. Julius likes or loves luxury stuffs, luxury wears, nice prom dresses, wants to look good and stuff like that. With that persona of Julius, you can be able to come up with a target market. How can the right platform, the right message, the right tone to be able to sell to that kind of client? That is creating a customer persona. In fashion or in business generally, it's important for you to understand your audience, your target audience. Who is your client, or who are your clients? Who are the people that can actually pay for the value that you are offering, right? With that, you can be able to come up with your own budget, your pricing, right? Your target audience. With your target audience, you can be able to come up with your own pricing. Now, look at the example I dropped here. I said if you sell high-end couture or prom dresses for international audience, Twitter and TikTok may not be your best platform, right? Because even with TikTok, there's some sort of ban with TikTok in other countries, right? So you might not be able to target more people with TikTok platform or maybe Twitter. Twitter is for politics and the dragging and all those kind of things, right? So you want to be targeting Instagram. You want to be targeting very good platform like Facebook, because those people, international people, they are so much on Facebook, right? Those are the best platform that you want to actually Pinterest too. You want to be targeting those kind of platform, right? This is you positioning yourself based on the audience that you have discovered, based on the fact that you've, number one, identify your niche. Number two, create your own persona. Create that particular person that you think that can actually pay for the value of your clothes. You can be very perfect, just like the example I cited initially about the lady that was really good with drafting patterns and all stuff like that. She was just drafting all those things in her room, right? Drafting all those patterns, not knowing that somebody can actually pay her 350,000 naira for just drafting this for my organization 3 times in a day or 3 times in a week, right? And she's earning the money, right? So you need to identify, number one, when you're identifying your niche, you need to identify your strengths together with it so that you know where you can actually perform better. Some people, you literally don't need to actually start a fashion brand, right? You just need to look down and say, okay, what exactly am I good at? What exactly can I do better? What value do I have? What value do I have that people can actually pay for? Some people you can actually do very well with your fashion brand and expand it better if you understand the value. And this brings me back into identity, your brand identity. You need to identify your brand identity. So I said, your brand identity and sell with it. Now, after you've determined your target audience, you understand who can actually buy and where your target audience are actually spending most of their time, right? What next? Your brand identity is the first impression customers have of you, right? It's important that you have competence in your brand first. People would buy competence first before they buy anything, before they even trust. Most people will say brand, they need to actually gain your trust before they can actually buy from you. No, it's your competence first. How can you position your brand? How can you put yourself out there that people would say, this guy is literally very, very good with prom dresses. This person is literally very good with prom dresses. Now, how do you do that? Your brand identity is important, right? Your logos, you start with your logo, you start with your brand, you start with your keywords. How do you respond to customers when they get in touch with you? Your pictures. Number one, in fashion business, pictures and videos are non-negotiable. If you want to do anything, if you want to invest in anything, first invest in your quality pictures, invest in your videos properly well, right? Invest in your pictures, invest in your videos. Sorry, please confirm if you can still hear me properly. Okay. All right. So invest in your pictures, invest in your videos. Those are key points that you want to actually start with because those are the first impression the customers would have of you. Your brand identity is really much important. If your brand doesn't clearly communicate its positioning, or you would struggle to attract the right audience. Now, there are key questions that you actually need to answer. Like I said, this session is actually practically inclined, and in fact, you have tasks to do from every of these slides. So you literally actually put so much of your attention here. Get your pens and jotters. If you have not gotten anyone, get ready because practical things that you actually need to apply and questions that you need to ask yourself. Right now, look at your brand. If you have a fashion brand, look at your brand. Are you positioning your brand for premium or budget-friendly brand in such a way that it's still tailored, not fashion design, right? So do you target local audience or international clients? These are questions that we need to actually ask ourselves as fashion business owners, right? Targeting local clients or international clients. If you're targeting international clients, where are you currently? Right? What emotions do you want your brands to evoke? Is it luxury? Is it comfort? Is it exclusivity? Like that. Before we started this session, I stumbled on the video on Instagram on Tunde Ednut's page. He posted kimonos, kimono something, kimonos couture or something like that. So I'm not sure because I just scrolled through. So I don't spoil the name of the brand, right? But just to paint a picture of that. Immediately I went to the page, I saw quality suits. Quality suits, right? So there are some people that are actually doing quality suit, but they are just using ITEL P65 to snap pictures, right? So you can have best of the best suits, best couture, but if your quality of the camera is not big scope, right? If the quality of your camera is not couture enough, right? If the quality of your camera is not big spoke, you won't attract luxury clients. No matter the quality of your clothes, no matter the quality of the material, people buy based on emotions, right? This is just psychology. You buy based on emotions. This is just basic human psychology. How you perceive your brand is how they would perceive you. So you need to actually invest the right way and the right manner, right? Fourthly, what are your brand's values? Are you preaching affordability? Are you preaching sustainability? Are you preaching handmade design? Right? One of the message I got from that video that I saw on Instagram was 24-hour suit. So it means that if I have an event in the next 2 days, I can call these guys and tell them, oh, please, I have an event. Just take my measurements, or maybe take a virtual measurement. I'm coming to pick it up, or send it to me. Right? That's part of the message. That's part of brand message. Right? So you need to actually identify these things properly well. So this starts with your brand identity. Now, these are practical examples of what to do if you are targeting premium clients or the budget-friendly client. Now, for a start, if you're targeting luxury clients, like I said, this class is actually like practical. So if you're targeting luxury clients, you want to ensure that your fonts, your branding are usually just slick and simple. Simple stuff, nothing too much, nothing too. Check Nike. Nike website is fantastic. Just a single page with so many beautiful pictures and quality pictures like that. High quality editorial style photos and videos. Then your message, your response time. It's not as if they'll message you now, you're responding 3 days, 4 days after. Because some people actually need their clothes and their materials ASAP. Just like the example I cited about 24 hours delivery, right? Your replies. How do you reply people on your Instagram? How do you respond to their comments? How do you respond to people? Do you even, if you're targeting luxury clients, international clients, do you have a website to start with? Right? If you're targeting luxury clients, then you need to actually have a standard website. A website that pitch that luxury, right? Look at Chanel. I dropped some couple of examples here. Chanel, Dior, Nike, right? Check all these people's websites. See how you might not be doing what they are doing because they sell ready-made and stuff like that. Maybe you are doing native clothes. Maybe you are doing what do you call this adire. If you are doing adire, but the way you place your adire, the way you brand your adire, the way you position your adire for international um um purchase, right? For international partnerships and all, speaks a lot about the brand, right? Influencer partnerships. Now, that same example, that same clients I talked about, right? That same brand I talked about, use influencers for most of celebrities for most of his promotions because they know that their audience are actually still within. But if you're targeting international clients, you necessarily might not even need influencers, local influencers, right? So, but for you to know which type of influencer you need or what type of market you're targeting, first start with the audience. Who are the people that can actually pay for the brand? Right? So your influencer partnership with celebrities and top tier fashion influencers would help your brand go a long way. Right? But if you're also targeting budget friendly, maybe streetwear fashion brands, just something simple. Oh, there's Eid tomorrow, right? You are making Eid clothes for Eid Mubarak with Muslim people, stuff like that, right? I want to make everything like really, really simple, relatable, fun, and casual, like your tone of message. And you have to also make sure that you engage directly with customers on Instagram and stuff like that. You necessarily might not need a website, right? Then if you're going to be focusing on influencers, they are micro influencers. Micro influencers are people who are not up to, okay, maybe say big celebrities, but just trendy guys, young guys that is just trending and you just want to quickly make use of the quick audience that this person has to be able to attract the customers that you have. But now, in choosing your influencer, you need to understand your own brand identity first. Because when you understand your brand identity, it helps you position your brand properly. So you're not using the wrong person that would influence your product. Then everybody is talking bad about your product because of the influencer that you brought into the system. So before you can actually bring an influencer into your marketing, into your brand, you need to understand your audience. You need to understand my audience relates with this person properly. Again, are my audience in his own audience? Right? The people that you are targeting that can actually buy from you, are they participant of his own followers? Right? Are they there? Right? So you need to actually understand these things properly. It starts with first identifying your target audience, right? So these are the things that are really more important. I mean, this class is actually, they are extremely practical things that you actually need to identify, things that you need to actually do in your brand, like right now, right? But there's still some other things that you need to actually do at the end of this class. So if you don't have your jotters right here, get them ready, because at the end of this class, there is something really big for you as a fashion brand that is actually beyond this. So we're going to talk about more of influencer marketing. Who can you choose? Who are you going to select? How can you select these right people? And interactive sessions, right? What are the questions? How do you even interact with your customers, right? This is also determine on the target audience and who exactly you're selling to. So now, when you now define your audience, now we started with this. This is, if you're not following, please, you need to take away all form of distractions, because you need to, it's step by step. You identify your target audience, identify your identity. But once you identify your brand identity, everything on social media should align with that identity. Now, what do I mean by that? So I take, for instance, as simple as this slide is, Kira's Fashion Academy, right, is different from Kira's Fashion Cave that does the clothes and the fashion brand. That's what they do there, right? Me as a strategist, right, and the Fashion Academy perspective, right? The brand has just, let me say, just three colors, three good colors. Number one, black, ash, white. If you check all these, the slides from the beginning to the end of this slide, you will see that the text, the font is the same thing. This is what I'm talking about, brand identity. I mean, I just give you a example of brand identity. Perfect example. I didn't plan that in my head, right? So now this also goes to your photography style. Check Kira Fashion Cave. You would see that every pictures that are on that platform are professionally snapped, videos professionally edited, right? Your photography style goes a long way, your identity. Your logo goes a long way. How do you put your logo? How is your logo by the right? See, to the place that your identity matters a whole lot. Where you position your logo in every of your design also matters a lot. It's just human psychology. What you're doing is just trying to play with human psychology and their sense. So if you are the kind of person that your logo is like most underneath, the moment you change your logo, you put it right side, people start to wonder, they start to react to your video in a different format, in a different way. It's just psychology, right? If you check Nike, Nike would always put their mark, just that mark alone, in their shoes, in their clothes. And if you check the clothes, it's always at this center here. That's where they put the logo. If you check the shoes, it's by the right hand side, they put the mark. And identity, your logo and your aesthetics. Use consistent color, your font and your theme. It must, your caption style. How do you put your captions? To the point of your captions. How do you put captions? Are they formal? Right? Are they elegant? Are they fun? Are they engaging captions? You need to identify that type of caption that you're going to be using for your brand. You need to know. Is it interactive captions that people want to engage with, or is it a formal caption? If you check most of this content on brands, even Red Bull, for instance, Red Bull sells energy drinks. Let's go back out of fashion, so we bring it back into fashion again. Red Bull sells energy drinks, right? But if you go to their page, what they preach is the energy that comes out of the energy drink. They don't sell the energy. They don't sell the drink. They sell the energy. Check all their content. You see people flying and jumping skies and jumping ceilings and all those kind of stuff, right? What they are preaching is strength, energy, not the drink itself. So they're not telling you, come and buy drink today, come and buy drink today. No, 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 no. Right? Because they understand their audience, they understand their markets, and they understand how they can do their things. Then this major point of customer service is literally important. If you are too busy to attend to customers, please invest. Get the customer service. If not a customer service representative, get an intern or get core members that can actually work with you with your brand and train these persons. If you don't have time to train them, get them to me. I'll train them, no problem. Right? But it's important. You see, in as much as you're going to be building up your brand, Your customer service is the most important, most critical aspect. So in more of our practical sessions, when in the upcoming session at masterclass, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this class, we'll draw a framework of how fashion businesses start and grow and scale, right? So let's say, for instance, you get a message on Instagram or you get a message from TikTok and stuff like that. The first person that responds to it is the customer service. How the customer service respond determines if you're going to close the deal or if you're going to lose the deal. So you need to understand, how do you message these people professionally? If you're targeting international clients, these people they don't understand. I will get back. When they say I'll get back to you, they will never. In fact, they can't even tell you I'll get back to you. They'll just tell you straight, I'm not interested and I'm not doing. Right? Nigerians will still tell you I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. But international clients will tell you straightforward, clean and clear. I'm not interested, and that's it. There's nothing you want to say. There's nothing you want to do that would convince them again, right? But the moments they get to you, you need to ensure that the message that you're passing to those people is professional enough, based on the fact that you are targeting professional clients. It's not like just someone who is focusing on my uncle, my auntie's clothes and stuff like that. You can still chat with those people with, let me say, friendly manner, still negotiate price in a friendly manner, right? Stuff like that. But if you're targeting professional people, if you're a premium client, if you're a premium fashion brand, your brand is premium. Everybody wants to do premium, but not everybody is doing premium, right? So these are the things that you need to actually put in place to ensure that you actually have that premium, or that your target audience, your identity correctly. Now, also your product pricing and your packaging. You say your product is premium, but the way you package your clothes, you put it inside nylon and you send it to the clients. You put inside one nylon that you just picked up from your kitchen and blah, you just roll it up, then dispatch it to the person. Then you are pricing that product at 400K. And you think some other people will buy? You have forgotten the fact that consumers buy more from people, or from brands that are referred, than them doing the whole trial. So what I'm saying in essence is this: consumer buy from brands, from people that have done trials before, right? So if I'm seeing your fashion brand for the first time, I just want to try it. I just want to see if I will get the quality from this particular brand, right? But the moment somebody has tried it before and somebody is referring the brand to me, right? I don't need to price it. I just know that this person has gone through the process. I want to start asking myself for those kind of unnecessary questions. I don't want to buy, right? So your packaging must be professional, right? If you are targeting premium clients. Now, this also goes back to you personally as a fashion person. If you are targeting professional clients, you want to go back again and look at how exactly am I packaging my brands? How exactly am I packaging most of these clothes after sewing? Do I even dry clean them before giving out to these clients? Do I iron them properly? I mean, take for instance, I have an event in 2 days, right? And maybe it's a rush work. I just call the tailor, please help me, or the fashion designer, please help me make this suit. I have an event in 2 days. And after sewing, fashion tailors, you have to go through a lot of rigorous process: cutting first, then put on your table, then pattern drafting and all those kind of things. It has gone through a lot of stains, it has gone through a lot of stuff like that. And all you do after sewing is just pack it inside the nylon and dispatch because the person needs it urgently. What's happening to spinning and washing and stuff like that? What happens to ironing? If somebody brings up the clothes and you have an event like that morning, for instance, and the tailor is just bringing up the clothes and the clothes is like dirty. Oh my God. Then you're pricing that product at 400K or 300K. Then you just know that these are the things that are causing delay. These are the things that are causing stunted growth in fashion brands. These are the things that are causing stunted growth in some of these fashion brands, right? So product pricing and your packaging is literally important first, right? So when you identify all these things, then you can now start to come up with what kind of content, what kind of platform, right? What kind of platform do I want to actually put my brand on? Okay, so I have a weekend task here for everyone, every single person out there. So you might not be able to answer it now. Maybe after the session, we'll have a session of Q&A. Then you can attend to some of these weekend tasks. But if you don't have your pen, you can make a screenshot of this weekend task. This is like very, very, very important. And if you're not yet in the community of the Curious Fashion Academy, please maybe drop your phone number, our customer service. I think one of the customer service is on the call here to, yes, I can see your screen. I think somebody dropped the message. So I think on the customer service rep should be on the call here to also help with getting your numbers to join the group. So make a screenshot of the weekend task. And the weekend task is quite simple. Let me get this off my screen. Let me see my screen. Right. So the weekend task is quite simple. Evaluate your last 5 social media posts. Do they reflect this identity that I've talked about? The identity that I've raised ahead in the sessions. Do any of your 5, maybe your last 5 or your first 5 or your 5 of your posts, if you don't have a social media account, look at your brand right now, right? Can they reflect this identity? Or if you never have social media account or you just want to start a social media platform, right? But how you have been running your brand, do they reflect the identity of what you're portraying? You might not be portraying that in the next, like right now, but maybe in the next 2, 3, 4 years, you want to be the big fashion brand. One thing I've noticed about fashion brands is the fact that if you stay consistent in it, this is one thing that actually attracts me to fashion brands as a business consultant, is that the moment you stay consistent in fashion brand, right, you will grow. I've seen fashion brands that literally started with just one sewing machine, and after 2, 3 years, they're opening an entire building. An entire building where you have about 20 tailors, 20 beaters, 20 embellishers, and stuff like that. One thing that I've noticed is the fact that they stayed consistent with it, and they were clear with their target audience. Right? So evaluate your task, evaluate your social media post or your brand itself right now, and think about it. Do they really align with that market that you think you're really looking forward to? Right? When you have answers to them, you can drop them in the academy group. If you're not yet in the community, at the end of this class, I would share the link for to the community, right? So now, when you've identified all your brand identity, understand your target audience, it's time to choose the right social media platform, right? So stick with me, right? So the best platform for such fashion brands, these are the best platforms that I've noticed, that I've used, that I've seen most fashion brands do extremely well with, right? Instagram. But the most important thing about social media or platforms for fashion brands is number one, you need to actually stay consistent. Schedule your post and be consistent. Most fashion brands post as 2 times or 3 times in a day. 2 times in a day, 4 times in a day, right? Stay consistent with it. Let people see and trust your brand properly. Now, if you're going to be saying, oh, what exactly do I post and stuff like that, at the end of this session, you would get to know what to post and how to post them. Maybe not how, but what to post. How is left for practical class. And at the end of this class, you get to know how, right? So, number one, Instagram. Instagram will help you with visual storytelling. Instagram will help you with visual storytelling, Reels, your IG shopping, TikTok, trend. It helps you to get in line with trendy content, viral fashion challenges, and also trend content that are trending, even trendy sounds, right? So you can use those sounds to boost your content, right? There's a part of this slide that talks about the type of content that you should be doing, right? There are contents that can actually help your brand to grow. When we get to the part of understanding the contents that will help your brand to grow, then you need to actually understand how to use TikTok. You might not get, let's say for instance, you're doing prom dresses and stuff like that, and you're targeting US. At some points, US banned the use of TikTok. I think they've lifted the ban or something like that, or probably not, right? So they're not using TikTok there. Let's say Trump rule, and I think 45 days. I think you should have more than 45 days. I'm not sure about the rule right now, but let's say they are not using TikTok in US, right? But how does TikTok help your own fashion brand to be able to get in line? You can use TikTok for viral sounds. You can use TikTok to look at your competitors, right? There is literally nothing new about in this world. Everything, everything new is there are new things happening to new people. That's all thing. So there's nothing new again. The only new things are happening to new people, right? So you can follow people that are already creating that kind of content and use the sound and borrow the sound. I use the keyword copy it, right? Pinterest also helps you with inspiration and website traffic and all those kind of stuff. Facebook helps you with community building, and YouTube, perfect for especially for brands that are open. They are trying to open have their own what do you call it? Have their own academy, like the Kira Fashion Academy, or you want to have your own academy and stuff like that. YouTube is a go-to area so that you can be able to have consistent tutorials behind the scenes, stylish guides, and stuff like that. So when the client is saying, how can I do this? How can I do this? Just direct them to your YouTube channel and they go there, watch it. It also has revenue for you in the long, because when you start to also build up your own community from your YouTube channel, it makes people, it's just a way of creating passive income without you spending so much on your marketing, but just investing so much on your knowledge to help you market your brand, right? So that is also very much important. Now, when you've built up your brand properly to identify the audience, identify your brand identity, oh wow, right? And the best social media platform, oh my, the best social media platform. Now, you can only have a very good social media platform when you have a perfect content. In this slide, I said content is king, right? Content is the heartbeat of your social media strategy. No matter what you want to do and how you want to do it, you don't have compelling content, consistent and relevant. You see this 1, 2, 3 words, I purposely actually wrote them there. If you don't have kinging, if that English exists, kinging content, compelling content, consistent and relevant content, please don't waste your time on social media, right? Go back to the drawing board and think of how can you come up with relevant content, right? Even the best strategies can fall flat if you don't have all these things. You can invest $50,000 on ads, but if your video quality is bad, it is bad. It won't work. It won't convert, right? But you can have a very good iPhone 14, 15 Pro snapped, or a camera snapped pictures or videos, right? And you just invest $2, $3 per day, and you have massive results. I don't mean engagement, I don't mean comments, I don't mean likes. One thing I'm also noticing about fashion is that your likes and your comments, they don't count. Let me be frank and be sincere with you. They don't count here. They don't count in how much sales you make. Your customers will come to you directly. Anybody that is in your comment section is just there to take screenshot of your pictures and put them in their gallery. Oh, till when God would help me to raise $500 to buy this clothes. But the moment that they enter your DM, they are damn interested in your product, right? So you can have a post and you see 0 likes or probably 0 comments. But the major thing is that, are they coming to your DM to make inquiries? Are they going to your website to make inquiries? If they are doing that, it's fine. It's fine. 100% is fine, right? Engagement for fashion is engagement in the DM, not in the comment section, not in the likes. So do not be disturbed about likes and comments. No, 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 no. In fashion, no. It doesn't relate, right? All those things are just engagements. Are engagements for comedies. They are engagement. But when it comes to fashion, right, it's conversion. Fashion is conversion. Oh, nice, right? Whether it's visual captions or video, every content should reflect your brand identity, as I've said earlier on, and resonate with your audience. Turning followers into loyal customers with time. So you can have 500K followers and all. Maybe not all of them will buy from you, but at least the rule of marketing is that 10% of your marketing effort to be able to convert to make more sales, right? So your content is king, and it all depends on how well you actually do put your content there. There's a quote that I have that says, those who would do well are ones creating content that are focused on your customers. That is a signature to your brand, right? I don't know why this is expressing myself. Those who will do well are the ones creating content that is signature to their brand. So you want to focus on your content that is actually focusing on your brand. Your content must ensure that it passes that message, that brand identity, right? Clearly to these people. Clearly. Right? So you need to ensure that, I hope I'll, okay, yeah, I did. So you want to also ensure that your brand goes that the content that you are pulling out. Okay. So now I've been talking about content. Your social media cannot do if you don't have very good content. But when we talk about content now, we talk behind the scenes videos, we talk about storytelling, we talk about product styling tips, right? Well, that's even when it comes to also your videos and all. You talk about customer testimonials. People buy better. People buy better when somebody has passed through the trial phase. Let me place it that way. When another person has passed through the trial phase and the person is recommending that, oh, this brand is actually trustworthy. Right. There was a time we did a live session at KFC, that's Fashion Cave. And some of the comments that we got was that, oh, I've gotten clothes from them. I've patronized them before. They are trustworthy. They delivered on time. They have quality service. Customer service was really perfect and stuff. Some other person that have not gotten their clothes were like, okay. Since you've said that, since you have also, I'm also waiting for my own. The person that was saying I've not gotten my clothes before was saying, oh, I've not gotten my own. I'm sure I'll get it before my time. Now he's changing his own perception. The person is changing his perception about the brand because somebody has tried the brand before. Somebody has tried the trial phase, and the person is now able to actually see, wow, this brand is actually really good. So it's important as a fashion brand to emphasize on customer testimonials. One important part that I didn't add in this part here is user-generated content. Allow your customers to take pictures. Let them make videos. There's a particular person that does my branding, printing on my shirts and stuff like that. Every time this lady delivers a batch of my clothes branded with the logo and stuff like that, I make videos. And she literally don't tell me to do that, but I do them, right? And this video, number one, the video actually helps to sell my own personal brand because she will repost it, right? She will repost it, right? And again, the video also helps her to sell our own brand more, right? So because somebody is making, whenever I make videos, I make them as interactive videos. Oh, this clothes is really nice. I like how she, like, put my testimonials. I don't write text in testimonials. Every brand I patronize, I put videos out there. I make videos for them, right? So this is something you can also integrate in your brand, in your fashion brand, and encourage your customers to make their testimonials, maybe in form of text, maybe in form of video content. When they wear the clothes, let them snap pictures, let them tag you with it. Encourage them to do all those things. But now you can only encourage them when you have actually beat your integrity stand in the business. As a business owner, right? Or a fashion brand, or maybe some other brands, right? Integrity is key. What I mean integrity is like you keep to your words. You deliver April 15. It is better to, there's the saying that you say it's better to under promise and over deliver than over promise then now under deliver, right? So if, for instance, the client is saying, or you told the client personally that, oh, the clothes will be delivered before April 19th, right? By April 19th, the clothes is not yet ready. in Nigeria, instead of us to, you see, let me also paint it like this. You are not God that is like really, really perfect. I think, for instance, what's Dr. Stephen Akitayo said today was like, you're not God that is omniperfect or omnipresent, that you can do everything and you can don't do and do everything, right? So for instance, now let's take for instance, you have a prompt clothes, a prompt dress to deliver maybe in 2020 when COVID happened, and all of a sudden COVID happened. There's nothing you want to do. You can't do any DHL. You can't get in contact with DHL. You can't even send anything, right? But you know the best thing to do at that point is communicate. Or let's say something happened, the best thing is to communicate. Or let's say DHL did not come and pick the clothes at the right time, or some other shipping brands didn't come to the office to pick up the clothes at the right time, as estimated, right? The best thing to do is communicate with the clients. But in Nigeria, the best thing we'll do is switch off the phone and block the number. Or maybe just maybe shut down everything and change your Instagram account or stuff like that, right? These are impressions that you really don't want to build your brand with as a fashion business owner. These are impressions that you don't want people to have of you, right? So you need to ensure is key in all these things. You can have the perfect content, but when customers are saying otherwise about your brand, it affects your reputation. It affects your live sales. You can't even go live because the moment somebody is complaining that, oh, I paid $15,000 for a particular cloth and the cloth has not been delivered for the past 2 years, you can't even go live. You can't even respond to DMs. You can't, because you're scared. You don't know who the person is going to use. You don't know. Then you start looking for lawyers and no, 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 no. You don't want to go through all this kind of stress, right? But to avoid any kind of situation and stuff like that, communication is key in every businesses. This is just a general thing for everybody, right? There are also key content types like before and after transformation. Maybe you make a video of how the clothes is, right? You make the clothes, how the clothes, where the clothes was before, then eventually you turn it into how you made it into a very good prom dress. That's before and after transformation, right? Those are contents, those are quality contents that you can actually put for your own brand. Okay. Then now, I made mention of this point here before of your content focus. What type of content should you be putting out on your social media platform? Number one, content you need to grow. These contents are what I place as content that you need to grow is content that builds awareness, that exposes your brand for a wider audience, right? So take for instance, TikTok viral content. You look at someone trendy sound. There's this Ramadan season now. Maybe you make native clothes or you make Nigerian clothes, right? So you can have this trendy sound of this guy, Sari Zito Bami just that or something like that, this Ramadan song like that. Then you make a native clothes and you have people dressed on this kind of, you have people, please mute your mic. So you have people dressed on that kind of native attire and stuff like that. So you have them dressed on this kind of native attire and you have them follow that trend, right? Those are contents that can actually help you. They call them viral content that can actually help you to grow your brand. Maybe just to build awareness, maybe just to build connections with your customers, right? Mute your mic, right? Maybe just to build awareness with your customers at that particular point. But there are also content that can actually help you sell. You don't want to be too salesy. You don't want to be too selly on your platform and every day buy clothes, buy clothes. No, 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 no. Your content needs to be distributed within these three major points. Any content you want to put on your platform must be distributed within three major points. Number one, is that to grow your brand that will help you sell, that will also help you build your brand. Now, the difference between growing your brand to get more people and the difference between when you want to build trust with those more people that you have, right? So what I mean building trust is, for instance, you want to go live, right? Like I said, we tried that with KFC. At the KFC, we tried that, so we can just build relationship, right? At the end of this, at the end of this session, there's something I place as invest in relationship marketing. There's what they call relationship marketing, right? How people can actually relate with your brand. It's really much important, right? This content help you to build your brand and strengthens your brand identity, right? You can have the perfect brand, but if you are not building up trust with these customers, right, you are going to be losing them at some point. So in essence, content to grow is about attracting attention, getting more people to yourself. Content to sell is about converting that attention into revenue. So you have 500K people, 500K followers directly from a trendy sound, right? You got them from the trendy sound, or maybe 20K from a sound, stuff like that. Then at the end of it all, you want to drop out the discounted sales for everybody so they can buy. That is you converting that attention that you've gotten into revenue, right? They also want to build content to build your brand. It's about nurturing relationships and fostering loyalty, right? Ensure that they build that brand loyalty. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so these are the major things for your brand. So when you have all these things, then there is also a part here that there's another wicked task here that says, for, like I said earlier on, if you don't have your pen or stuff like that, make a screenshot of this weekend task and try them out. Try them out, then drop your results, maybe on the Monday morning in the academic group chats. Then you see the magic that will come out of your brand, right? Number one, copy. I intentionally placed this word there. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe that's the right word, but I'm just blunt with it. Copy. Like, don't be scared of copy, right? Not all content needs to be original. In fashion, nothing. In fact, like I said earlier on, there's nothing new. There are only new things that are happening to new people. In fact, in this entire world, the future is now, and there's nothing new. There's nothing new in this world. Every single thing, everything that you're seeing here, they're just new things that are happening to old things that are happening to new people, right? Not all content is original. Embrace trends. Look at your competitors. Look at other brands that are actually hitting the markets, that are doing well, that are focusing on the same target audience that you are doing. Look at them, right? Now, if you look at some of these brands, you will discover that how they invest so much in their content creation, right? What they do, how they do it. How many times do they post? Do they post 3 times in a day? Do they post 4 times in a day across all their, how many platforms do they have? Right? What you intend to do, or what you are planning to do, what you are writing in your journals, that you have been writing in all your big journals and pen for the past few years, in all these kind of books like this, right? For the past how many years? Somebody is doing it. All you just need to do is look at that step. Look at that step, right? Follow that step. That's the secret to growth. Follow the step and remodify it to your own values. I need to actually clarify this part. Remodify it based on your own values. Because in every single person, right? Personally, everybody have their purpose in life. Everybody have their target audience. Everybody have what they are called to do. Like I said initially when I started, I'm in the business of fashion, but I'm not sewing. I'm not part of the tailors. I'm not part of the embellishers. I don't even know what they even use. I don't know the type of sewing machine that they are using. I don't know jack about sewing and cutting, pattern drafting. I just know the name, but I don't know what it's all about, right? But I consult with fashion brands, right? I help them do their websites. I help them business of automation. I help them with hiring and firing and all stuff like that. I'm still in the business of fashion. Do you understand? So what you're doing, somebody else is doing it, but you just need to modify it to your own purpose, right? Somebody else is also doing digital marketing consultancy like I'm doing, right? But I have my own audience. I have my own target audience, right? I see that, okay, somebody is doing digital marketing, and the person is also training, building up their own audience, training people. Can I also bring that training? This is a practical example. Can I also bring that training into my target audience, which are business of fashion? You see what I'm saying? is a practical example. So copy, right? Create a content calendar to plan for season. In fact, your content calendar can actually help you to plan for a seasonal content. So for instance, you look at, oh, if your calendar, if you have a proper content calendar, you know that, oh, by April, from January to April, for people that are targeting prom dresses and all, evening prom dresses, this is your season. But if you're targeting local markets like the Nigerian market, for instance, towards April, May, June, July, August, you have a lot of weddings that are coming around the end of the year. People are doing end of the year parties, stuff like that, and stuff like that. So your content calendar would help you understand seasonal sessions, right? Invest in your brand, invest in your logo, invest in your website. If you don't have a website, start to think of how much does it even cost to build a website, right? You might not have the money to do that. You might have the money, right? But how much does it cost? It's the practical way of staying in line with your destination, staying in line with your wants and your heart desires. The next thing is run adverts. The brands that you are targeting that you want to even copy. One of the challenges that we have as business owners is the fact that we can copy, but we don't copy the investments that the brand is making, that the brand that you're copying is making. Now, this brings me back to how much are you currently, ask yourself this question, how much are you currently investing in your brand? How much? So you can look at another brand and say like, oh, these guys are actually doing very well. They have 200K followers. They do this, they do the blah, 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 blah. You look at their website, you're seeing that they're charging so much, big money. And you're wondering, like, what are they doing that I cannot do? What are they doing that I have not done? What are they doing that I cannot do? Stuff like that. So, but you need to understand that they are doing something that you're not doing. They are doing something that you're not doing at all. So run adverts, invest so much in your adverts, invest so much. If you don't have money to hire social media manager, you can get an intern, like as I said earlier on. So these are weekend tasks that you need to actually put in place. Then I also need to also take note, put into this notice that your clients are not defined by the comment section. I think I've made mention of this before, but just I emphasize on it again. Your clients are not defined based on your comment section or the engagement rate or even the engagement rate. It's just engagement rate does not equal sales, right? Then I talked about influencer marketing. Consumers trust other people's trial first. I talked about this before, right? Influencer marketing. Influencer marketing goes a long way. It's a whole lot. First, you need to identify who can actually push the values that your brand is actually portraying. Who, right? So, as I said here, why matters a lot in fashion is that 61% of consumers, right? 51% of consumers trust influencer recommendations first. And there are also micro influencers that you can actually use. Like I said, you just don't need to put so much money in trying to look for big top celebrities that will charge you $2,000 per hour for just a session or stuff like that. But micro influencers that are just trending, as you can quickly use them and make the money out of it. Then how to find the right influencers? Look for those who followers match your target audience, which are very much important. The people that match your target audience, prioritize engagement rates over follower count. This is very much important. There are tools that you can use. Now, let me list some tools. There are tools that you can use to spy on other brands, other competitors, right? There's what they call Facebook Ads Library. Facebook Ads Library. If you are spying on a particular brand and you want to know how well they're investing so much in their marketing, go to Facebook Ads Library, type the name of the brand that you want to look at. You will see the amount of ads that some of them are running currently on Facebook. You see the amount of money that they've invested so much in ads, right? Then you can now think of, are you going to be collaborating or you want to compete with them, right? So then in terms of your influencer marketing, you want to also offer collaborations, affiliate marketing with these people. Sometimes your influencer, you literally don't need to actually pay them all the time. You can just have affiliates. Every customer that you bring as an influencer for a brand, you get a certain amount of commission out of it. It can be 10%, it can be 20%, it can be 15%, right? You can give them giveaways. You can make the very big spoke designs for them, right? Beautiful designs for them. So these are ways of just negotiation, right? So at the end of it all, there are some tasks. Like I said, this session is actually practically inclined. I'm sure most of you have learned one or two things, right? So now there are also some other to-dos that you need to do this weekend. Number one, invest in relationship marketing. Relationship between your target audience, relationship between your prospects, relationship between your customers, those ones that are already, that you've converted already. You need to build sustainable relationship with them so that they become loyal to your brand, so they can be able to refer your brand, so they can also give you testimonials that can help you attract more people, right? Sales is all about trust. Use social media platforms to build trust and quality relationship with your customers, right? That is really much, that's one thing you want to use social media marketing for, right? Market a lifestyle. Every of your content, your brand identity should portray lifestyle, not a product. You should have a story, sell a story about your craft. Find out what exactly is unique about your fashion brand and put it out there, right? So you will see that most people that will sell, let's say you make Adire, for instance, right? But there's a particular guy I saw on TikTok. These guys Adire, all what you do on that Adire is to draw um this they call them Ifa, right? It draws their signs on these things. That's one thing that is telling. That's the story that he is telling based on that particular, on his own design, right? So if you check out some other fashion brands, you will see that they are selling. There's this person I know that makes suits. I've forgotten his name, right? Perfect design. So you need to actually tell what is the story behind your brand and hold on to that story to sell your craft. So if you're making coutures, right? If you're making handmade clothes, it can be gingered based on your family history. It can be gingered based on your own experience in life. Just tell that story. Funny enough is how that story can be published on Al Jazeera, can be published on other beautiful international platforms like that. All you just did is you just told your own story based on your craft. And you're making more money from that craft because of the story that you sell, right? And you also need to also sell your experience and your expertise, right? 6 years is not a beans. 6 years is not beans. Tell people you have experience in this. Experience build competence, and competence build trust in every brand. Then eventually sell your brand. And when you sell your brand, right, it doesn't stop there. Invest on sponsored ads. Like I said, how much are you investing in the business that you have today? All right, so that's the end of this session. Thank you very much. Question and answer session. Quickly. So we spent over like an hour, 30 minutes, or less than an hour, 30 minutes on this call. So I hope you've learned one or two things. And if you have questions, please unmute. It's time for you to unmute your mic, ask questions. I also have my Oga Madam here on the call, the CEO of Kira's Fashion Cave and the founder of Kira Fashion Academy. It's an honor. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share with the students on this call. So if you have any questions, anything, please unmute your mic and let's can roll. Okay, so I want to okay, let me check the chat. If there's any question on the chat. Okay, no question. All right. So in the absence of no question, I'm sure that It means that everybody understands what's been said so far. And it's important that you put so much effort in all these various tasks that have been assigned in this particular slide. The slide will actually be shared to the community, be shared on the community rather, for to all the students who have joined the community. We would share the slides there, so you can be able to participate with on each of various tasks. Okay, thank you very much for this class. It was very insightful. Thank you very much, Possible. Thank you for making it possible to join here, to join the class. So it's quite insightful. Thank you very much. That's a very good comment from you. All right. Okay. So this is a direct message. Good evening, sir. You said something about niche, having a niche and focusing on it. But you later said about creating content based on sessions. Would this okay. I understand what you're saying. If I Oluremi. Okay, so what I said about niching down. So niching down and creating seasonal content doesn't contradict each other. Now, what I mean by creating a niche. So for instance, if you do prom dresses, I think I made this clear. So if, for instance, you make prom dresses like KFC, you know, based on the content already that you want to pull out for the year, that between January to April, May, your content would actually just be prom dresses or be inspired with prom dresses and all. So there's no how, because you have niched down to a particular part or niche down to a particular form. In fact, your niching down will help you with your content plan, right? I don't know if that's clear. So niching down doesn't mean that you are not going to do other things. You can do other things, right? So your content plan, your content based on season is based on the fact that you already know when you niche down, you already know your target audience. You already know people that can actually buy from you. You already know the type of persons that you are focusing on. You already know the type of clothes that you make, right? So if you are making clothes for prom dresses, as a case study I've been using since morning, since the other time, right? For prom dresses, you already know that between January to April, May, your contents are actually going to be prom dresses or maybe some other dresses like that, right? Based on your own brand, right? So you already know your identity already. So if you're making handmade dresses, let me say you're making clothes for weddings and stuff like that, you know, between that's April, May, June, July, August. I mean, you have a lot of wedding sessions and all stuff like that. If you're making prom dresses and you're making wedding clothes also, you know that prom dresses will come between January till May. Wedding dresses will come from May to the end of the year, right? So there's no how it's going to contradict each other, right? So you just need to identify, first thing first, you need to identify your target audience. When you identify your target audience, it would help you with your content plan, to help you with your seasonal content plan and all. All right. I hope that makes sense. That was a direct message to me. Right. Thank you very much. I said it was really insightful in between. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for joining. All right. So at the end of this session, right, there is more. Right. There is more. There is so much more. Right. There's so much more with the business of fashion. Right. Beyond just the social media marketing, there's also the aspect of fashion marketing and branding. There's aspect of financial management. There is aspect of the legal. When you make big scope designs, right? How do you put that brand out there that people don't take out your copyright? Your financial management is key. Business automations. How can you make your own business run itself? Right? There are digital tools that you can actually bring into your brands. There are softwares that you can bring into your brands that can help your process seamlessly, right? That can help you with scheduling book consultations, can help you with booking on your website, can help you with payments gateways, can help you with your content plan, your content strategy. Tools like that, platforms like that, and everything is what we're going to be teaching in this masterclass, right? It's called the 6 weeks intensive fashion business course, fashion business masterclass, right? And it's going for a token of, let me not say token, right? It's going for 100K. right? This class is, it's not just about the money, but it's about the benefits that comes out of this master class. And the master class is starting in April. A lot of people have actually paid for this class already. Quite a number of people have paid for this class. We just made this webinar free because it's meant to be part of the class. It's also a glimpse. So we just brought out a part, in fact, just a tip of the iceberg of this class. So the class will be running for 6 weeks. There'll be physical classes, there'll be virtual class sessions like this, webinars like this, in between the 6 weeks. And there'll be mentorship that will be coming after the 6 weeks that will help your brand, the business of fashion, help you understand the business of fashion, the real part of business of fashion, right? What is going on with sales? How do you, when you make the clothes, how do you ship the clothes? How do you set up DHL? How do you set up a business with DHL in such a way that they come and pick up your clothes and send it to the customers? How do you get the tracking code and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean, it's so much. It's so much, so much. That's sales and distribution of your brand, help you with financial management, help you with, in fact, we'll have a practical session on video editing. We'll have a practical session on social media management, posting content, and all sorts like that. You have, and you know, practical sessions come up with tasks. So practical, I mean, practical example of even this free webinar, you have tasks to do. Now imagine you're having an intensive 6 weeks course with the Curious Fashion Academy. Then you have a whole lot to learn and a whole lot to do, right? So I would implore you to, if you're really in the business of fashion and you want to scale, grow, expand globally, I mean globally, right? And attract audience, attract the right market, attract the right people, attract the right audience, attract the right money, attract the right revenue for your brand, and have a sustainable revenue in your own brand, then I'll implore you to register. So for you to register, just go to Curious Fashion Academy / masterclass, and you can make your payment online. Make your payment online, or you also send or send us a WhatsApp message on this phone number on your screen 0811 258 3078. That's the customer service, and the customer service will respond to you on next step to take. Right. Thank you very much. Or visit www.curiousfashionacademy for more inquiries. So if you want to even register for fashion class or stuff like that with Curious Fashion Academy, you can go to our website. We have online content, virtual classes there for you to learn. Pattern drafting, a lot of courses, beginners, advanced class is there. These are part of automations that we are talking about that we're going to be teaching you on in this 6 weeks class. All right. Thank you very much. My name is Shobo Philos, and it's been a wonderful session with each and every one of you all. The video of this session would also be published after a few while on probably on our YouTube, but definitely then also the slides will be shared to the group So if you're not yet, let me share the link. If you're not yet on the group, let me get the link on. If you're not yet in the group, please join the community. I'll post the link right on the chat box right now. I think that's it. All right, so I just posted the community. If you're not yet in the community, please join the community. That's where the slides and some of the informations would be shared. Right. So if you have any question again, you can also drop them in the community group. All right. Thank you very much. Or is there any other question? Anybody wants to unmute your mic? You can unmute your mic if you have anything to say or any participation or any question before we call it a night. Missy, possible, iPhone, anything. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful night rest. Not at all. Okay. Thank you. I learned a whole lot, actually. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate. Appreciate. All right. So good night, everyone. Thank you very